line. Isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
And now out comes Houston. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Following the interception, Winston. And Watson has it right side. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Jameis to throw it. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, Winston. Shakes off the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Well, you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now out comes Houston. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, it's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw, Watson. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Third and long, it's Watson. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jameis now on 1st down. He hits his target, left side, Watson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Play action now, Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd and short yardage, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this 1st quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. And that is incomplete. Ryan Smith right there defensively.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. On 1st and 10, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Steps away to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll toss to Jones running left. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64. And officially, this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he couldn't make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
And now out comes Houston. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides.
Black 22! Black 22! Two-jet! Two-jet! Richmond! Two-jet! Two-jet!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Watson now to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Jackson. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing, Winston. And Watson has it, right side. How did he stay on his feet? A really good pickup of 28 yards.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Winston now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Winston now. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now they'll run it on the toss. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Now Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
3rd and goal, Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now out comes Houston. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Come back.
To throw is Watson. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Following the interception, Winston airing this one out for Evans. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. Sheds off the tackle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Off of play action, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. From the red zone now, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
A first down throw for Winston. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On second down, Winston again. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, or all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. To throw on second is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Watson now on second down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Vinny Curry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. From the gun, Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or 2, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
Back to throw, Watson. He's going to air one out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Come back. 2 jet.
On second down, here's Miller. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Jameis to throw it. He's going to sling this deep. He's got him in, complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. It's a big play. Winston to Evans, 41 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now the toss to Jones, running right. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back now in Houston, it's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. Second down, Winston. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Now Winston. And Watson has it right side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And give them a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Watson on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first.
Reset.
On second down, here's Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now it's Watson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Bucs on third down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. Jameis now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Watson flushed out right. This is caught. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And now the Texans are within a 2-point conversion of tying up this game. zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Now it's Wilson. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
He's got daylight. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bucs are going to take the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, Watson. Caught here by Griffin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now a first down throw, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. So he was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Back 22! Back 22!
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll toss it to Miller. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Back 22.
Out of the gun, Watson. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th.
Black 99, feel it.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. That escapes the sack. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bucs have just about wrapped up the victory. Give to Jones. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, I know at points of this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Buccaneers, it's a rare bright spot in what's been a tough season as they move to 2-6.